Hey there, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a Picot cast on, as specifically used in my pattern Vest Behavior, which I designed for the first cast on issue of PURL Magazine. For this cast on, I used the cable cast on method as its foundation. So if you're just looking for how to cable cast on, this video is going to be helpful for you too. So what is a Picot cast on? Well, in a nutshell, it's a decorative cast on method that results in a bumpy or scalloped edge, as you can see here. And that's done by means of casting on extra stitches and then immediately binding them off along your cast on row. For my specific cast on, I decided to alternate the size of my picots between the smallest that they can be and then a medium size. So you'll also be able to see how to easily modify the size of your picots simply by changing the number of stitches that you cast on and bind off. To ensure a tidy picot edge, you're going to want to have two needle sizes, one for the cast on only, and then one for your fabric that immediately follows the cast on. So for me, I used a US 2.5 or 3mm needle for the cast on, and then I switched to a US 4 or 3.5mm for my ribbing. Then, if you're casting on a lot of stitches, you may also want to have a few stitch markers on hand just to help you keep track of your stitch count along the way. All right, are you ready? Let's go. So as I mentioned at the outset, we're going to begin with a cable cast on using our smaller cast on needle. So to begin, leave a 6 to 8 inch or 15 to 20 centimeter tail, then make a slip knot and place it on your needle tip. Go ahead and turn your needle to begin knitting from it. And then knit the slip knot as you normally would. Knit a stitch. Now here, instead of dropping the stitch off your left needle, you're going to take your left needle, bring it around the front of that stitch and slip it from right to left. Okay, so we're going to go around the front, slip it from right to left. And now you have 2 stitches on your left needle, and these 2 stitches count as the first 2 stitches of the cast on. Now we're going to continue with the steps of the cable cast on. So we're going to insert our right needle tip between these 2 stitches from front to back, wrap our yarn around knitwise, and draw up a new loop. And then we're going to take our left needle once again, bring it around the front of that stitch and slip it from right to left. Now we have 3 stitches on our left needle here. And if you were to simply be doing a cable cast on, you would just repeat those steps that we just did for the required number of stitches. So you start with your 2 stitches from the cast on, and then you'd just begin inserting your needle from front to back between the last 2 stitches on the needle, drawing up a new loop, placing it on the needle. That's a cable cast on essentially. But now for a Picot cast on, and especially if you're following the pattern for Vest Behavior, now that we have 3 stitches on the needle, we're ready to make our first Picot. So with our 3 stitches here, we now want to knit 2 stitches. Then once we've knit those 2 stitches, we're going to take our left needle and slip the second stitch on the right needle over the first to bind off one. Now we've got 2 stitches once again. We'll now slip the stitch from the right needle to the left needle by inserting our left needle from left to right in that stitch to maintain the orientation of it. Now there is our first Picot. Super cute. And then we're going to make our second Picot. So for my pattern, we now cable cast on 4 stitches. So again, we're going to take our right needle tip, insert it from front to back between those 2 stitches, knit and draw up a loop, then slip it to the left needle from right to left. Okay. Now you have 3, so we're going to cast on 3 more. All right. Okay. So now we can see that we have the 2 stitches from the first picot plus 4 that we just cable casted on. So next we need to knit 2 once again. And then bind off 1 by slipping the second stitch on the right needle over the first and off the needle. Then we want to knit another stitch and bind off another. And then we'll pass that resulting stitch, or the remaining stitch on the right needle, back to the left by slipping it from left to right. Now we have 2 picots on our left needle here. So let's go ahead and create a few more picots so we can really see what we're doing here. So insert our right needle again between the last 2 stitches on the left needle and cable cast on 3. It's the beginning of our repeat for my pattern Best Behavior. Okay, now that we've cable casted on 3, we can see we have the 2 picots, that's 2, 4, and then our 3 stitches here. We can go ahead and knit 2. And bind off 1. Then we want to transfer the stitch back to the left needle by slipping it from left to right. Then we want to finish our repeat by cable casting on 4 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Then we're going to knit 2. Bind off 1. Knit another. And bind off another. And then we're going to slip that last stitch back to the left needle from left to right. So here we've got a good amount of picots made, and we can really start to see how this cast on is shaping up. I just want to mention here at this point that because there's a lot of additional movements in this cast on, knitting, there's binding off, there's slipping, it's very easy to do this cast on too loosely. So if you're going to be going into a rib or other non-lace stitch afterward, just be mindful of that. You can also see now easily where you are in the pattern. So you can see a smaller picot, you've casted on 3 stitches and bound off 1. Or here, the larger picots, you casted on 4 stitches and bound off 2. Picots are very easy to upsize. So if you want an even larger picot, you can add to the number of stitches that you cast on and bind off. For example, you can cast on 5 stitches and bind off 3, or you can cast on 6 stitches and bind off 4. Whatever number you choose to cast on, you'll just want to bind off all but 2 of them. And then each picot, no matter the size, is centered between 2 stitches. You can see here's the 2 stitches that belong to this picot, here are the 2 stitches that belong to this picot. And each repeat here in my pattern adds 4 stitches to the total stitch count. Now for ease in keeping track of your stitch count, especially if you're going to be casting on a large amount, like the hem of my vest, you can divide the number of stitches that you're going to be casting on in half or by 4, or any other number that makes sense for the pattern that you're following. And then you can place temporary markers at those intervals. So for example, if you cast on 96 stitches, you can place a marker after 48 stitches or after 24 stitches. And that way that you can just count the chunks of stitches in each section without having to go back around and count your entire cast on all over again. So at this point, let's keep casting on until we have the number of stitches we need, and then let's meet back here for the next steps. And there we have my full cast on. I casted on 80 stitches, so I placed a marker halfway. So after 40 stitches were cast on, so I didn't have to count those stitches again, I placed a marker knowing that those were 40, and then I just counted from there another 40. So now I've got 80 stitches. Now after we finish this cast on, we're going to need to work a setup row, regardless of if we're working flat or in the round. If you'll eventually be working in the round, don't join for working in the round just yet. Instead, we're going to switch to our larger needle. And again, for me, that was a 0.5 millimeter size larger than the smaller needle that I used for the cast on. We're going to use that larger needle to work a setup row as for the right side of our stitch pattern. For my pattern, if you're following along, that's a knit 2, purl 2 rib. But if you're following another pattern, just do what that pattern tells you to do at this point after the cast on. I also want to point out that as you're knitting this row, it's going to feel a little bit less forgiving than usual, I guess. That might be the best way to describe it. The stitches will look a little looser, but there's no need to worry. It'll all look good after you work a row or two. And just be mindful to keep your stitches snug when you do the cast on, but also when you're knitting this first setup row. So go ahead and finish out your setup row, and then let's meet back here to talk about the next steps. When we've reached the end of our setup row, if you're using interchangeable needles, you would no longer be using your smaller size. If you're using 2 separate needles like I did, you would just set that needle aside. You don't need it anymore. And then if you're working flat, you would simply, turn your work and start knitting back the opposite direction. But if you're working in the round, you don't want to turn your work. You want to leave your needle here now in your right hand, and then we're going to make sure that all our stitches are facing the same way. So you can see I've got a little bit of crowding on this needle here, but I'm going to try my best to make sure that nothing is twisted. So I like to lay it on the table and just kind of make sure everything's facing the same direction. And it looks like it is. Okay, so then if you're working in the round, you would simply place a marker on your needle for the beginning of the round, and you're simply going to start working in the round. You're not going to do any join technique or anything here. And then make sure you knit your first couple stitches pretty snug. You want to make sure there's not too much looseness going on right here. And you're going to have a small gap at the beginning of the round, but we'll close that in the finishing, and I'll show you how to do that next. So go ahead and work your round, and then come back here when you're ready to see the next step. So here's what things are looking like after I've worked one full round, and you can see that there's a little bit of disconnect between our beginning of the round and the end of the round. But we're going to use this tail from our cast on to join the edge here and make that completely invisible. So that's what I'll show you now using yet another sample. I made a lot of swatches and a couple samples to get this pattern just right. And if you look at this hem, you can see that the gap is not all that bad between the beginning and end of the round, but of course we want to make things look polished and finished, so we don't want to leave that open like that. So all we need to do is take our cast on tail and thread it onto a tapestry needle. And then we want to look closely at the gap. So hopefully you can see this with my darker yarn here. But really all you want to do is take the tail from the left side of the beginning of the round and insert your tapestry needle into the picot that it's not attached to. So we're going to go from the right side to the wrong side into the edge of that picot. And then we'll draw it through. And then we're going to flip the hem over slightly and just kind of look for where that tail is coming out of on the wrong side. So here you can see the tail is coming through right there. So we want to take our tapestry needle and now insert it into that loop that the tail's coming out of, across the gap. You see that? Go ahead and pull that through. And that gives it a nice firm join. If you stretch the hem, you can see that the gap is gone and the picot looks really just like the other picots nearby. So we've got, this is the one we just joined right here, and here's another one. So they look really close and no one would ever be able to tell where your beginning of the round was. And that's it, friends. You now have a super fun decorative cast on. I hope this video has been helpful, not only for how to picot cast on, but also how to cable cast on. And if you're making your own vest behavior, I really hope that you enjoy every stitch. Now in the next couple of videos, I'm going to show you how to do the faux cables used in this pattern's hem, and also how to place beads in your knitting. So I hope to see you there. Take care.